Boom! That's how we like to kick off the opening session today. Welcome, Pat Rachmat and Jeffrey. I'm super excited to have both of you here. It's really an honor to be able to kick this off with both of you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan.
So today we're going to be talking about the new age of leadership in a digital-led recovery, and I'm guessing both of you probably have some insight to share on how you guys led your companies through this most amazing, challenging time. So let's kind of rewind 1 year ago today. Describe what it was like for yourself and your business. Pat Rachmat, why don't we start with you?
Okay. Oh, okay. 1 year ago, yeah. I was in my first 3 months in Bukalapak. I'm a new joiner in a company, coming from a non-tech background, and I was replacing the founder, who is also an icon in the industry. So that was my situation last year. And Bukalapak is actually in the middle of consolidating our operation. We used to have multiple satellite offices, and we wanted to be in one building. So we just moved into a new office. Everyone was very excited. First time we got to see each other in the office over lunch, coffee, or whatever. And then, of course, we had to kick everyone out of the office and ask them to work from home. So I think today we are adjusting. We are finding our growth. Our staff is already can work productively, safely. Bukalapak continue to grow, and for myself, somehow I got invited to this event. So I guess everything is going well.
Somehow, I mean, what an amazing kind of tornado you're thrown in within 100 days of taking the CEO hot seat, right? Really cool. Jeffrey, how about you? Take us a year ago today. What were you doing?
Yeah, actually exactly a year ago today, because PatSnap, we have operation in both US, Europe, and China. So a year ago today, as we all know, the COVID started in Asia, in China. A year ago today, actually, my colleagues in China all has already came back to work. Even though with all the masks on, with all the measure put in place, while our US, Europe colleague just got on remote working. Everyone work from home. I think around this week as well, last year this week, and was a very down mode because everyone not sure what was going on or what will happen, and that was kind of last year, a year ago. Now today, actually, unfortunately, I would say in the West we still about the same. In US, Europe, all our colleagues have been working from home since a year ago until today. And while our China colleagues still the same, they still get to office and everything kind of back to normal. So that will be comparison.
Wow. Well, I also know both sides of the coin. As you can see, I'm here in my office, and we do have a couple people that are trickling back in. We're keeping it capped at 50% occupancy just to make sure that people are a little bit distant, but thanks for that. Now, this pandemic journey was, without revealing too much about your guys' secret sauce and your business, but what major shifts in your business did you have to power through? Can you talk us through these strategies that you've had to champion within your orgs, and what how did this change course? Maybe Jeffrey, why don't we continue with you?
Yes. So PatSnap is a B2B SaaS software as a service business, and we serve our customer throughout the world, especially the R&D department. And I would say one big shift in this pandemic, which because of the pandemic as well, last year, as I mentioned in Q1, I think China went into lockdown earlier in late January, early Feb. So back then we decided to actually kind of what I call product-led growth. Because everyone is working from home, we have a lot of clients, they cannot access our software because sometimes the company VPN, they only can access from their company on site. So we actually make a now on hindsight, I think it's a right decision, and it's one of the best decision for the year as well. For last year, is we make our product available for free, for the whole country, whole world. So in Q1 was China, so we make it available for free in China, and in Q2 we make it available for free for the Western world, to encourage everyone just to use it, to work from home, and all this thing going on. And because of this strategy that we kind of embark on, we actually, in fact, it really helped us towards the Q3, Q4 last year. That this, first of all, this is a good, this good kind of gesture was recognized by the industry, our industry, so everyone appreciate the move. And secondly, it actually also create a lot of leads and pipeline for us for the rest of the year. So this is something that and because of this, it becomes kind of a normal things for us, ongoing basis, that we try to make certain parts of our product for free to our potential customer. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. And I'm assuming that you know, removing the pricing gate for these to use your service probably helped to guys propel you to now this amazing status that you guys just did a nice funding round and became a unicorn, and all that fun stuff. Cool. And how about you, Pak Rachmat? I mean, like, I guess you're probably sitting there 100 days into the job and saying, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But you have an amazing background, like MIT and I guess Stanford as well. So I'm sure you used a lot of the skills that you've acquired to help, drive Bukalapak through this. But maybe take us to what you had to do with, leading this company.
Yeah. Basically, quickly, our business in Bukalapak is what we call all commerce. We have platforms operating C2C online marketplace, and also an application that is doing online to offline to digitize mom and pop kiosks. So offline, we want to connect them to online business as well. So overall, we are actually very grateful that our business has been resilient during this pandemic. And like on the surface, I think everyone knows every e-commerce continue to grow strongly and now have become acceptable mainstream way to transact outside of course the offline. But actually below that surface in the bottom, there are a lot of major shifts happening. Basically on the seller side, the segments that are traditionally going strong become weakened, and there are some segments that was originally not traditional e-commerce grow very, very significantly. On the user side, typically, there's a flux of new users that may have, for lack of better terms, the sophistication is somewhat different, and they require different onboarding experience because they're just so not used to using digital ways of transacting. And so what we have to do is, quickly adjust our operation, shrink some, expand some, educating a lot of those to handle this shift. So for us, one thing that I guess important is that we keep reminding ourselves what are we here for? What do we want to do? We want to make sure that people can fill the transaction and have to adjust our operation to cater for the environmental or business needs.
Yeah, that must have been pretty challenging. I mean, because you serve a lot of this mom and pop segments, and people couldn't really go out of their homes, and the accessibility for them to do their normal day's trade was heavily impaired, right?
Absolutely. But quite interestingly, that mom and pop kiosk segment in Indonesia is actually growing very, very strongly during the pandemic. I think because people, because of the pandemic, people stay at home and they also want to transact near home. So instead of maybe going to a big market, they do their transaction in the neighborhood mom and pop kiosk instead. So this is something that we have to kind of educate to ensure that the mom and pop kiosks know how to handle the customer safely as well. We create a video with all the local languages and say like, hey, wear mask, wash your hand, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's very interesting time.
Yeah, well, we talk about hyper local, right? From the big stores to the little stores to now the mom and pop. Everyone, is feeding from this value chain. So wow, that's great what you guys have done. So like, I guess the media talks about like what companies have done and but not enough spotlight has been placed on leading and inspiring our own teams, right? And I think that probably, when we talk about leadership in this digital age, right? During these times of uncertainty and things definitely are lightning fast, right? How did you keep your employees committed and motivated, in a completely, non-centralized or decentralized environment, right?
Me first or Jeffrey?
Sure, yeah, sure.
Okay. For my side, yeah, I think what we believe is that people is always looking for not only regular work, go to office, come back, get paid or whatever, right? But they have this need to also or want to support the higher purpose. And what we are quite grateful is that we are operating in a segment that's quite very fundamental to daily activities, economic activities, especially during the pandemic. People like commerce is such a critical part of the daily function. Yeah. So one thing that we need to do is to keep reminding ourselves that hey, what we do is actually needed by the society. Failure is not an option. We have no option just to say like, hey guys, we'll take a break, shut down first, and then come back when all these things done. But this is kind of like the chance for us to create value really. So that kind of communication can be energizing for a lot of people. So that is something that we do consistently. And of course, as an organization, it's quite important for us to ensure that our staff understand and aware that we actually want to take care of them as well. Because we're all human, we have our own fear and everything, worries. So what we try to do is to create some support system with the company. Basically a lot of engagement activities. We try to ensure that kind of provide some sort of security, job security, or whatever that, and we have to keep communicating that hey, this is what we are trying to do. We provide like what we call employee assistance program. So people who need support, professional support on mental care or something, we ask them to go as well, healthcare and that kind of stuff. That is what we want to do. And of course, we adjust our working environment as well. People can work from home, but also we open our office. I'm also in my office, and so people who need like better infrastructure, somehow they are bored, they can come to the office, and the office is actually following strict health protocol. Today, we open for 25%, but actually the usage is probably closer to say 3 to 5% every day. But anyway, that is how we try to do it, so everyone can continue to work safely.
How about you, Jeffrey?
Yeah.
What did you have to do to lead your people through this?
Yeah, no, I think what Rachmat mentioned, that sense of purpose, I think is key. I think just continue with, because we started we free our products in for our customer, for everyone, and I think that actually which was didn't which create a great kind of meaning and purpose to rally everyone together, because we are making it free, and because of the free, our usage increase, and everyone have to work harder to ensure all the service are up and more inquiries coming in. So our customer success team make sure they can address all the income inquiries. So all these really actually kind of help focus everyone on serving our customer as well during those very challenging time, the uncertainty time, I would say. And after that, like kind of past Q1, Q2, actually also during that time as well, we started our weekly company huddle, and it has been because we wanted to make sure we communicate a lot to everyone, make sure everyone know what is going on throughout the business for everything. So we have a weekly kind of meeting with everyone and open free flow Q&A, and that kind of started until like kind of carry on until now, and that become part of our culture as well. That weekly meeting, let everyone kind of know what is going on. And other aspect, we also, I think, mental health, wellness has become very key, because a lot of them, imagine you are locked down in a place and never really have much social interaction. So actually a lot of them really feel stressed, and not being themselves. So the mental health, mental wellness, a lot of workshop we also conduct for them to make sure their well-being is good. So things like that we have done since the COVID. Yeah.
Yeah. Do either of you, can you look back to like maybe one decision that was maybe one of the most difficult decisions that you had to make with regards to, you know, your people or your teams? Is there anything that pops up to mind?
Yes. For me back then, because of the COVID, during the COVID time, we do have to kind of trim down our certain expenses. I think that that was one of the tough decision we have to make during those time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that probably for all of us, right? Cash preservation is critical to make it through these type of times. And well, for us, I mean, you know, going into a salary freeze was probably one of the most difficult things, but we didn't want to have to lay off anyone, and we didn't during this period. So very, very challenging, and it definitely put all, you know, the whole management team under pretty heavy pressure, you know, to make decisions that are very, very people centric. Yeah. So yeah, cool. So moving a little bit forward, right? We're I guess when we talk about a digital led pandemic, we're talking also about like um our companies and probably all of us, you know, like we have brands and that we can't no longer be insular or self-serving in a way. Like profitability isn't the main objective, right? And it shouldn't be. But if we zoom out from this topic of the digital led recovery, or actually zoom back into it, what are the steps that, you know, your organizations have done, being able to help this whole ecosystem bounce back? And I know, Jeffrey, you talked about like making your product free, which probably was a great catalyst to helping the entire ecosystem. But is there anything else that you feel that you guys did that contributing to the whole ecosystem in itself?
Yes, I can share some on that. I think because of that free movement, like the freemium type of movement, I think we definitely help contribute a bit to the whole our industry in terms of awareness of IP, intellectual property, and how we can use that to chart their company R&D direction better. So that is one, and many others, big and small measure as well. We actually help our customer, like there are certain services that because of their need to work from home, because of their need to need to collaborate more, because everyone working from home, so we come up more in terms of product development, we come up more features that help them collaborate remotely as well. So these are some of the things from a product aspect that the changes that we make.
Cool. And you, Pak Rachmat?
Yeah, I think for us in Bukalapak, we actually started thinking about this for a long time, because I think in the beginning, since the founding. Bukalapak was created to support small and medium business. We want to digitize the small and medium business. And basically, of course, we started with online marketplace. It become our flagship product. That's what makes us well known. And then we realized a few years back that this online marketplace market has been, there's a lot of capital, new players coming in, and it's there's a lot of serving already. So we see that what are the other segments that that needed to be served? Which one is what is the new frontier for us, given what we are, given our focus in the SME? And what we realized is that the critical part of the problem in Indonesia is a lot of people are still not digitally and financially included, and therefore they cannot be participating in the online marketplace. So that is the genesis of us creating our Mitra application, our O2O application. So what we are thinking is we digitize this mom and pop kiosk, and we put all these capabilities that we have developed in the online marketplace to that mom and pop kiosk. So they become our bridge agent between online and offline world. And the small and medium, so the mom and pop kiosk can get more SKUs. They have more service to sell, and the neighborhood people can also benefit indirectly through e-commerce. They can transact even though they don't have digital currency or they don't have sophistication to transact or even willingness to transact in online. And I think during this pandemic, this become more interesting because it turns out one of the key things to do for the ecosystem is to digitize SMEs. And in Indonesia, we face a lot of big crisis, but typically it hits big corporations. And this is the first time when all actually the SMEs has always been the core, the anchor for Indonesian economy. But now, like all the digitization is still very very low. So what we need to do is we just need to simply create like a bigger platform to onboard more SMEs, so that can be digitized. They can participate in the digital economy during this pandemic, and also we work a lot with our competitors, actually, with our competitors, then and the government to create this kind of like, hey, we don't care who, we just onboard this SMEs. All the merchants should be digitized, regardless where is the platform, and we do this together with the government. So we create this movement called Bangga Buatan Indonesia. So basically, proud of using Indonesian products. The president is the one that do this, but it's actually a collaboration between all the guys that maybe traditionally people think that this guys is going to be competing in the market. So it's actually very very pleasant experience for me.
Yeah, I remember seeing something recently about the made in Indonesia for Indonesians, right? The kind of a campaign. Yeah, that's great, and yeah, I think it's always important to take care of your home economy and your people, because they're ultimately the ones who helped grow the business to where it is right now, right? Jeffrey, what did you learn about yourself as a leader?
Yes. I say every year we learn a lot. I mean, in a startup world, I think every year you kind of need to reinvent yourself if you want to kind of cope up with the change, the pace of the growth. But I would say, especially last year for COVID, I think it is definitely is a world changing once in a lifetime event. I think I learned that things can just change overnight. Like nothing is certain. So and just from a leader perspective, I think sometimes because maybe I guess for my type, I always chasing after the next goal, always go after the next milestone, and didn't spend enough time to kind of enjoy the process, enjoy the relationship, the comradeship, the camaraderie along the way. I think that the people side of thing that we need to even treasure more, especially with all these uncertainties going on. That will be my personal learning. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there, do you have like a leader maybe that you look up to somewhere in this world, alive or maybe not alive anymore? Is there someone that, you know, you take a cue from?
Yeah, I would say not one, but many. Like since young, I love to read biography of all these the different people, but especially founders who really started from zero and grow to like massive company. Because I just can't imagine how much reinvention they need to have on themselves. So people like now you say like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Bill Gates. Really, I always I think when I read their biography, learn how when they face through challenges and how they come back and then still keep charging ahead, and this is their kind of mission and purpose. I thought always those are very inspiring.
How about you, Rachmat? What did you learn about yourself as a leader?
Yeah, well, it's actually very, this time is very good time to sit and kind of being philosophical about things sometimes, yeah. And it kind of remind me the purpose of a leader, I think, is to provide circle of safety. I think that is that is that book, yeah, Circle of Safety, and kind of it resonated with me a lot. It's like, oh yeah, this is my job. I need to make sure that my staff, my operation, can go through this very difficult time. And it's also kind of remind us that we actually don't need that much to survive somehow, and that is probably more like as an individual. You can start focusing on like, oh, you know, this is important, and this is actually I can do away with. And you know, it's very good to prioritize, and I need to keep reminding ourselves what is the purpose of the company. These are the things that's important, and the rest, we we could let go and change.
That's amazing. And is there someone that you look up to in terms of a leadership kind of beacon for you? Someone that you try to model yourself after or learn from?
Yeah, there's a few, but unfortunately, maybe this is more old school. Yeah, the one that is still alive, I really enjoy reading and learning about Warren Buffett. I was to work for an investment company, so he's kind of like, how can people be so successful but yet so humble? That is one. I enjoy also learning about Lincoln. Lincoln is a leader that I think during can make very tough decision working with very difficult people, but always keep their humanity. And actually, this is maybe somewhat religious, but my first name is actually Muhammad. So sometimes, learn a little bit about Muhammad and how he kind of, when he is trying to kind of introduce what he's teaching, and he faced a lot of challenges, yet he basically embraced the humanity and always focus on what is good. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. That's some amazing sharing. Thank you both. Just really quickly, I mean, in 30 seconds from each of you, what does the next if we're sitting here a year from today, what are we going to be talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think in Bukalapak, will be bigger, hopefully, and then closer to our path of sustainability, and maybe we'll have like one or two new killer products moving forward that we can discuss on top of this Mamanta Pios and online marketing.
And how about you, Jeffrey?
Same, actually, in 1 year from now, I would like to have a few more killer product as well for our customer. And really, I think end of the day, I believe in end of the day is a customer first. If we really continue to innovate and drive value for our customer, I think the rest will come. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I also hope for a few more products that we can take to market, and maybe we can all grow one more horn in our unicorn status. Gentlemen, this has been a truly eye-opening session together. Learned so much about each of you and your leadership style, and how you help steer your amazing organizations through this most challenging time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ronen, for hosting. Yeah.
Pleasure is ours. Thank you.